Hi guys, are you all right? Hope everybody's fine and healthy. Today we're continuing with the energy information method for control of our destiny, control of our environment, of ourselves, our psychology, called Future Energy Information Development. A part of it is taught in my course, The Heal and Learn Method. And today I'm going to be talking about the energetic aspect of charisma and influence. Last time, check out the video. I'll put the link somewhere here, wherever it appears. Last time I talked about the first thing you need to do. So I gave an overview of what influence and charisma is and how to generally tackle it. And now I'm going to step by step give you the tools and methods in which to do it. So last time I talked about clearing your room, clearing your internal space from emotional indebtedness. And today I'm going to be talking about step number 1 of nonverbal communication. So this next few series are going to be about nonverbal and verbal communication, but we're starting about a few steps of nonverbal communication. And maybe you've heard partially some of them in your communication classes whenever you've had them, if you've had them, but this is a bit different. So let me just jump right in. There are a few steps of nonverbal communication, and step number 1, which is what we're going to be talking about today, is aligning your energy to the energy of the person you're talking with. So this means alignment is not simply mirroring, which is what you've heard. You've heard the mirroring technique, where you mirror the position of the other person. For example, if they cross their leg, you cross your leg as well. This goes much deeper. It starts with the breathing. So step number 1 is to actually make sure that you align your breathing to the breathing of the person. And I'll tell you why this is important, because once you align in terms of breathing, even in terms of chakras later on, you'll see, you're going to be able to lead them. So once you're plugged in, after step 2, 3, which you're going to hear later on, you're going to be able to start leading, but first you have to align. So the breathing is important, but you also have to know there's a difference between the breathing in men and in women. So women generally breathe more with their chest just because of their birth-giving function, birth-giving physiology. It's easier to breathe from the chest, while men breathe from the stomach. So you have to observe this depending on who you're talking to. So once you observe the person and see if they're breathing deeply or breathing more shallow, breathing is like a DNA. Everybody breathes in a different way. So you have to observe the person for a while and see whether they breathe gently, peacefully, or what is the speed, the pace, the rhythm. So you have to be very observant for a few minutes, and this is done with training. So you're not going to be able to manage the first time you attempt this, right? But like with every new skill that you're learning, it takes some perseverance in order for you to learn it. So the first thing is really observe the person and start breathing slowly together with them. Of course, try not to make it too visible. This goes on while the conversation is ongoing, right? You're not simply going to watch each other breathing. All right. So step number 2 then, once you have aligned your breathing, is to also start mirroring the pose. Of course, you shouldn't make it too obvious, like mocking the other person. Whatever they're doing, you're doing the same. If they're scratching their head on this side, you're doing absolutely the same. No, I'm talking about subtle movements, such as, for example, the person is shaking a bit nervously with one of their feet. You do the same, not too obviously, of course. It's not a 100% copycat, but there are certain aspects that you can mirror so as to assert, yes, we are of the same kind. We do the same thing. We have the same habits, even if you don't. Remember, you're trying to reach a goal here. It's not about manipulation. You're trying to get the person on your side, to influence them about your goal that you want to achieve. And please watch again my other videos on the principles of the Silva method, where principles of goal manifestation, where I specifically talk about the ethical aspect of setting goals, what kind of goals you should be setting yourself, not only because of ethics, but because if you don't abide by the divine principles, they simply won't come true. All right, so step number 3 is to start being aware of and start controlling your ethereal body. And the ethereal body is some call it the aura, but it's the extension of our physical body, the energy that surrounds our physical body. We can actually touch objects with it. We can feel our surroundings, the temperature. We can feel everything with our ethereal body. This is not our soul. This is just another finer structure of our physical bodies. And the ethereal body, when you stretch it long enough, you can actually perceive things with your consciousness. It merges with the overall consciousness, so it can basically go anywhere. But in general, the ethereal body of people runs around 50 centimeters to 1.5, maybe 3 meters around people, depending on where they live. If they live in cities, the ethereal body is smaller. If they live in villages or in people that are not very populated, the ethereal body is generally larger, simply because people have more space. And the more people you mingle with, the more your energy is, let's say, it's dirty is not a good word to say about, mingling with other people, but it is not as purely yours as you would like it to be when you're trying to control your own life. So you're getting a lot of influence from other people. Okay, so the ethereal body, the easiest way to feel the ethereal body is if you spread your arms like that, close your eyes, relax in a manner that you normally relax. You can use music, you can use going in alpha beat. If you know the Silva method, you can use the counting from 5 to 1 technique to go deeper. But in any case, you relax, you spread your arms straight, and you imagine that you're extending one of your arms or both of your arms. I would suggest one of your arms because it's easier to focus on one. So you extend it with your mind to go out of your fingers. You'll start feeling tingling at the tip of your fingers. It will start feeling like wind is blowing through your fingers, as if energy is running out. So what you can do is you can go further with your arm and hand and touch the next object that is close to you, that is around you. And you touch it with your imagination. So imagination doesn't mean that it's unreal, that you're simply imagining things. Imagination means that you are perceiving with other senses, not with your 5 senses, 5 physical senses. You're starting to experience the world with other senses, and imagination is the organ through which you perceive the ethereal world. All right. Another way to start feeling your ethereal body is if you stand up straight and again keep your arms stretched out, and at some point, after 1-2 minutes of standing like this with your arms spread, you imagine how your ethereal arm goes like this, goes down, and you move it. But while you're doing that, your actual physical arm is not moving. So you should train that only the energy aspect of it is moving, and see whether you can feel that. It also helps if you, before you spend the 2-3 minutes with stretched arms, you actually do that, memorize this movement, Memorize this movement, then keep your arms stretched, and then do it in your mind's eye only, right? And see how it feels. It should theoretically feel the same. Not theoretically, it feels the same. I don't know if you know of cases when people are trained to perform better at sports, and the same neurological knots or neurological pathways are fired whenever they're imagining they're doing sports in their mind and whenever they're actually doing it. So when you're doing this, your mind tells you you're actually doing it, and you are. Your ethereal body is doing it. So always remember, whatever you're doing with your ethereal body, always return back to the initial outgoing position of how you were before you started the whole work. So why is this whole, excuse me, ethereal body control important? Because when you're trying to influence other people, talking to somebody, you can expand your ethereal body, make yourself look bigger so that you're more convincing, you know, simply by looking physically bigger, and your counterparty perceives subconsciously the size of your ethereal body. So if you make yourself bigger with your mind's eye, they perceive you as more important. They start paying attention to your words. On the other hand, if you're trying to hide yourself from somebody, not being noticed, let's say if you have if you've parked wrongly and there's a policeman passing by or something like that, you're trying to hide from something, then you can make yourself smaller. You know, just imagine that you're contracting inside of yourself, and you practically become invisible. The problem is if you don't restore your original body, original size of your body, people will stop noticing you. They will start stepping on you, and you know, that's not nice, not to be noticed. We're going to continue with correcting our own condition based on the situation. This is what we're going to be talking next time. If you would like to get a transcript, step-by-step guidance of what I'm talking about today, sign up for the newsletter, and you're going to be the first ones to receive the transcript of these videos if you'd like to follow step-by-step of what you should do. Also, if you're curious, you can join my course, the Heal and Learn Method, if you'd like to learn these techniques and the Silva method. The Heal and Learn method is based on the Silva method of mind control. And after it finishes, we do meditation in a mastermind group. After this 5-week course, I'm going to continue the training for trainers, the Heal and Learn method for trainers. So if you'd like to teach this method as well, you know, follow the links below, send me an email, and so on. And please remember to subscribe, to like, to comment. If you enjoy these videos, let me know what else you would like to learn. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.